Kev, what's good?
What's up, man?
Hey, man, it's been a minute, man.
I know. Every time we take a week off, I forget how to set everything up.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So I end up running all over the house to get all the things I need to make this masterpiece happen.
I remember my daughter now uses my computer to play video games. I think I've mentioned this before, so I gotta go in her room, get my computer, set it all up, and then take it back. Well, I mean, if I'm being nice, I'll take it back. If not, I'll leave it out here. But yeah, check this out.
Okay.
All right. So this is gonna be wild. This is a wild opening question, but it's as all opening questions, it's leading to me wanting to say something. So check this out.
So it's about you. It's not about me.
It is. This come on. The Rap 6 radio show is me asking you questions so that I can give my opinion. So, do you play dominoes, Kev?
I don't.
I've never asked you that. You do not. So you're not familiar with FlyClops and the little domino app and all of that stuff. You're not familiar with that,
no.
All right, so let me run this down real quick. It's not a long story. It's a short story as far as this part of it.
Let me ask you something. Am I losing a little bit of credibility?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Not at all. Maybe, maybe when we first met, I give you an L for it. But now, nah. Man, it's cool now.
I don't play spades either.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine, too.
You know what? I think at this point it would be pandering. Could be seen as pandering.
It would be. Cultural pandering. Yeah, let me chill on that. But yeah, I was gonna say something and I'm like, you know what? Let me not say that. But Icy Ice plays dominoes. But I just want to throw that out there. Not that has anything to do with anything, but Icy Ice does play dominoes. Oh,
I mean, it is a game. You know, that many people play. I just don't happen to be one of them.
Icy Ice still. That's pretty funny. All right, so FlyClops is a app, domino app. Most people, it's probably I don't know what it is. There's only a few domino apps that are worth using, I guess. And a lot of people are on this, right?
Okay. You could play people online, or
so there's a random thing called Blitz where it's anybody online. They come through, and then you can of course play your friends if you know their name on the app or whatever. I play Suge a lot, which sort of makes they keep your game tabs, right? And I'm at like a 50% win rate in one-on-ones because I'm constantly playing Suge. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I smash everybody else, so it looked like I can't play, and people are like, "Oh man, you only have," and I'm like, "No, I'm playing like one of the best people ever." You know what I'm saying? So it looks like I'm bad, but no, I'll smack you up. Don't mess with me. Anyway, guess who pops up randomly just last night as a impromptu opponent? You'll never guess, but just take one. Think of our show, and then take one wild guess.
This show?
Think of this show and just take one wild guess who I ended up playing just last night randomly.
The lady from the other RSR podcast.
Oh, I wish. I would. Yeah, I try to skunk her. Glasses Malone popped up. I was like, oh snap, what up, yo? So yeah, I ended up playing Glasses. It was it was cool. I chopped it up with him a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I didn't tell him that we had responded because I didn't want to like chat him up on this random app or whatever. But ended up playing Glasses, man.
That's awesome, man.
Dope. Yeah. I'm like, who else am I gonna run into on this app?
The sad thing, I don't even remember what it was that he said that was so controversial.
People from the suburbs are not real hip hop.
Oh, word! Did you beat him?
Yeah, I did. Yes, I did. I mean, I didn't want to say it on here like it was all fresh. I mean, you can win a domino game. Like, it requires skill if everybody has the right domino, but you can definitely pull a good enough hand to beat anybody in the world. It's like, that's why when people brag about beating you one time, I'm like, well, Anybody could win once. All right. So let's get another opening question in there, right?
Okay.
Are you one of the people that jumped onto Threads early to see what it was all about and haven't really been back on since?
Absolutely.
All right.
I've jumped on like a couple times since then just to be like, oh, you know what it is? I jump on just to see if they've gotten it together. Like I was waiting for a long time for them to have the web thing, like the web version. Yeah.
They have it.
Yeah. And then I was like, then I realized quickly that I didn't care.
Well, so is it that Threads ain't fresh, or is it that we're actually collectively a little tired of social media and social media apps? Are we getting tired?
Yeah, I'm tired. I mean, there are days when I'll go on like Facebook and then, people are posting funny stuff or whatever, and I might be on there for 20 minutes or whatever, but I will check Facebook maybe once or twice a day. The first time I do, usually I'm like looking at the news page.
Right.
And then whatever Fizz posted overnight or whatever. Whenever Fizz evidently wakes up at like 3:30 in the morning and goes to whatever meme site that he Fizz's life is very odd, I think. If we really want to get into, I don't know if I want to know. So I'm not asking the question. I'm just saying this as though I know, but I don't want to actually know, because I think he wakes up at 3:30 and he scours the internet for memes and selects the one that's going to make his first post of the day. Then I'm hoping that he goes back to sleep for another couple hours. Just kind of lets it cook for a little bit. But I'm not sure. But,
it sounds like my life without the searching for memes. Pop up at like 3:30. I look around like, oh snap, scroll through the internet and then go back to sleep around like 5 and wake back up.
Oh man,
and it's time to get up.
Yeah, I've been because I get up pretty early. I get up like around 5:30. Yeah. And every day I'm like sad because I wake up and I feel good that I woke up, on my own, because I'm an old man. Mm. 5:30, whatever. And I look at my watch and every day it tells me how terrible I slept.
See, that's why I had to turn that thing off, man. It was too much. I had to take it off. It was too much information.
Yeah. So anyway, I check out Facebook. I check out maybe Instagram once or twice a week. I might just go on there real quick. And then for some reason, the one thing that is going away is Twitter. I'm just like, every day I'm like, why did I even click the thing? This is nuts.
Yeah, I'm curious. I'm actually curious. So I think that there's a bit of social media fatigue, and I think the downfall or the drama surrounding Twitter has sort of been a reminder to all of us, and I'll get deeper into my opinion when we get into the next segment. But I think that there's some fatigue. But I have been just like, you know what, I want to see what this Threads thing is about. And it does remind me a lot of when Twitter was new. The only difference is we all had no idea like what we were going to do with it. Right. Now there's this sort of collective group of content creators who are now instructing people, you got to post good content or people won't care. But see, back when all of this first started, that was not even an ideology. It wasn't a thing because you couldn't really monetize it yet, right? Right. So it's sort of weird because you're at the beginning of something that could turn out good, but it's goofy as all get out.
Oh, yeah.
Because, there's some goofiness to it, right? Because people now know that you can monetize things. You know what I'm saying? So it has like a sort of there's a weirdness to it, but it's been pretty cool. Like there's not a lot of flame wars on it yet. Not a lot of arguing and debating. There's you can sort of block people, and then if people are commenting on your thread or whatever, you can block it for everybody. So like, people like to troll, and the most important thing about their trolling is that you may ignore it, but other people can be part of it.
Right.
So now they're like, all right, well, we can block you for everybody. So So yeah, it sort of still keeps a big. It does support an echo chamber, which I'm not sure if I'm super against echo chambers in a lot of circumstances, but whatever.
Yeah, I got it. I'm going to check it out more. Like, this is the thing. So Google News, pretty much where I Google News without any cookies, like private window. That's where I get my news. Go to Facebook, check out what people are doing. And then that news is more like entertainment news for whatever reason, because of whatever I'm looking at, I guess. And then the Twitter, I don't go to my main feed usually. I just go to the explore whatever, the trending. Yeah. I just look at whatever's trending just to see who's acting up, and then spend 5 seconds figuring out why. It's like, all right, whatever. But today, actually, it's funny you said that, because talked about the fatigue. Today, two of the most positive people I've ever seen on Twitter, consistently positive people, and I'm not going to name them because of what I'm about to say. Both of them, I feel like, have reached the end of their rope, because they both they were flashing on individually, flashing on somebody, like somebody pissed them off, and it was like, I was like, wow. Yeah. Why, turn it off, man.
I don't want to rag on it. My man Phony Stark has been like wilding lately, but the thing is, the energy, if there is a social media energy, kind of has gotten a little rough over there. Like you know what I'm saying? Like it's kind of become this sort of, when you turn things into free speech conversations or ideals, one of the things that happens is like decorum leaves. And I'm always like, for some people, and again, this is a thought I sort of want to hold till the next, but for some people, they're just gonna like exit that. And it's not because there's so much like incapable of handling your words. You know what I'm saying? It's just, what's the point? Why would I engage in that type of discourse? There's no value in it for me. You know what I'm saying?
Especially if I can't find out about the latest Disney products or whatever sales are going on at Walmart. I go to Twitter for the ads. Make no mistake about it.
Right? Yeah. So, I mean, it gets pretty funny. But, yeah, you know what? I want to get into this a little bit, at least this second part of my thought process. So, let's jump to the other side. Kev, man, you ready?
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Rap Sucks Radio. Blah, 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 blah.
What up, y'all? You are live on Rap Sucks Radio with your homeboy Trek Life and your fam, Kev Sakota.
It will always be Twitter.
Yo, is it true? All right, hold up. Is it true that he wanted to name PayPal X?
Yeah, I think so. I think he's had that for a long time. I think he has X.com or something like that.
That's interesting. That is very interesting.
If you're not using it for a porn site, why are you alive?
Yo, I can think of other things, but check it out. Thank y'all for tuning in, man. We appreciate each and every one of y'all. If you would like to catch past episodes of our show, you could go to rapsucksradio.com and any of your favorite podcasting platforms. Hey, catch us on TV, man. BTSN, Behind the Scenes Network. Download the app or channel on your Roku or any of your Amazon Fire devices, or you can go to btsn.watch and check us out with plenty of other dope content. BTSN, Behind the Scenes Network, we want in. And also on your social media, man, you can go to Rap Sucks Radio on Instagram or RSR Podcast on Facebook. As we talked about social media just earlier and the fatigue from it, we really only give y'all two options, so y'all ain't got to chase us around. You pick one or the other, and we on both of those. All right? So, yeah, Kev, let's get into the show a little bit here.
Yeah.
Episode title is We're Late, but bring in the flutes.
We need an echo on that.
All right, I'll try.
Bring the flutes!
Bring in the flutes! All right, so topic number one is 40 plus is too old to rap. I ain't even try to be clever. It's just too old. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Got to know when to say when.
Got to know when to say when. Look, Andre 3000 breaks a Billboard record with a flute song. Bottom line. CNN Entertainment is the source for this. Players involved are Andre 3000 and Old Head Energy. Let's get to the notes. Look, some fans may not be happy with Andre 3000 for releasing a record that isn't a rap song. This is already clearly not written by anyone under 70. But whatever. But give the man some credit. The artist, who has been beloved as both a solo act and part of the hip-hop duo Outkast, has broken a Billboard record for the longest song ever to crack Billboard Hot 100. Fittingly, Andre 3000's flute hit has a long title that says, I swear, I really wanted to make a rap album, but this is literally the way the wind blew me this time. I would say that this time is actually, I would have cut that off. If I was editing, I would have cut this time off. But anyway.
Well, maybe he was going for word count.
Maybe he was, but that's not what broke the record, right? Look, with a runtime of 12 minutes and 20 seconds, the song entered at number 90 and becomes the longest running song to ever hit the chart, surpassing Tool's Fear Inoculum at 10 minutes and 21 seconds, Kev. Andre 3000, now 48 years old, has suggested that he may have aged out of the hip-hop game. Much of his audience has pushed back on that while embracing the new music. His all-instrumental New Blue Sun has hit number 1 on the New Age albums chart. Take it away, Kev.
I didn't know there was a New Age albums chart. But
neither did I.
Congrats to him,
but
though.
I'm not shocked, though. Are you shocked that there's one?
No.
Yeah, because I didn't know. Yeah.
No, you think, like, is Enya bent
it's
somewhere?
Like just dominating this joint. Like,
yeah.
It's a rap. That record has been top 10 for the last 25 years. Enya dominating.
You're going to see Enya up in the Chiefs luxury box next week. Trying to get them numbers up.
And you're finna drop a rap record like I'm too old for New Age. Yo, my favorite Enya reference is on Bob's Burgers. It's an old brother that lives in an apartment complex across from them. And Shorty's driving away playing New Age music. And he goes, oh, yeah, get that Enya. And I'm like, yo, that's amazing. Get that Enya. All right, Kev, take it away, man.
Now, let me ask you a question. Did you listen to the whole album?
I haven't listened to a single note.
Oh, wow. Okay. Because I realized when quickly trying to prepare for this particular program that this is the second episode in a row where I'm going to be speaking at length about something that I've only listened to a very small portion of. That's gonna be the way things go, I think, for the foreseeable future.
Fair enough, especially if I'm gonna drop the topics on you within an hour of the show. I get it.
But I tell you what I like about this album a lot, though, is that to me, he basically just made an all flute version that represents the driving hypothesis of this podcast.
You mentioned that, and I'm very interested in the explanation to this.
I mean, he clearly understands that rap sucks just as well as we do. What if he can't rhyme anymore? Anyone ever think about that?
No.
Things happen. You get into your 40s, Mm-hmm. Any of a number of things can happen to prevent you from doing the things. Come on now.
I'm just saying.
There were some overriding circumstances for the DLC. God bless him.
Kanye spit it through the wire, man. Come on, you can still rap.
He did. Knocked his head around a little bit, though, I'm sure.
Look, man,
Well,
so
so you've had time to digest
I
the
have.
situation, to reconcile yourself with the realities of the decision that he decided to make. But, and I don't want to call you out,
Yeah.
you did seem to be one of the more vocal amongst the group of generally sane people that I associate myself with. You seem to be on the more vocal side of the what the fuck is he doing sort of chorus.
And let me explain myself here. Like, I mean, of course I'm gonna do that, right? My thing is this.
I hope so.
First of all, there's some bullet points that I've been kind of holding on to throughout this whole thing, and I'm kind of watching people bug out, in my opinion, right? First of all, like, yes, I'm one of those horrible people, right? There's this awful fans, ridiculous human being that wants, to hear Andre 3000 spit a verse. And I was like, why are we now like the enemy? You know what I'm saying? Like, wait, it's like, what, the energy sort of got weird. I don't get anybody, whether I respect your opinion or not. I just didn't get why people were so upset at people wanting to hear Andre 3000 rap. This is one of the greatest rappers ever.
Oh, I didn't catch any of that.
Man, people got so strange. It just got weird. I'm like, wait, so we're like, I'm the bad guy?
But was it like people that were like, the time has come, I've been waiting my whole life to hear Andre play flute for 12 minutes?
You're kind of hitting the nail on the head here, right? Like, no one is... So Andre 3000 gave us The Love Below. It was an entire record with hardly any verses on it, if any verse at all, right? Mm-hmm. All the way till the very last song. And he gave us one verse that was so damn dope that it was like, okay, yeah, man, go ahead. Right? So it's not like people were like, give us a whole... People who listen to Andre 3000 have understood that he's tried new things, and that's what's made him a fascinating artist. Hey Ya is dope to me. I liked Hey Ya. Now, I got a lot of homeboys who jump right off board at Hey Ya. And I'm like, y'all could go over there. This is a dope song. So you know that he is willing to expand his horizons. Now, a flute record kind of might have caught you off guard, but you're not shocked by it. But the fact that she was like, damn, come on, man, like a verse would be dope. And people was like, what? Crawling out like Thriller. Like, why do you want to hear a verse? It's like, yo, why am I? You know what I'm saying? And then, so then that happened. So I'm like, all right, I need to back off because there's too much anger at wanting rappers to rap. This is kind of weird. People went crazy, right? And then, I mean, you knew people were going to give the record a listen, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that was what was going to happen, regardless of whether the record, and I'm not saying it's not good or was impossible to be good. I'm saying his status is going to allow him the room to do a flute record and people check it out. Okay, let's see what happens, right? But then it became like, yeah, Andre 3000 beat y'all. He won because the record was good. And it's like, what? I didn't realize we was, you know what I'm saying? So now I'm like, all right, y'all are too invested in, it's like the success of a flute record.
Yeah.
Nobody wanted this dude to fail at life. Like, yo, I hope he drops the record and dies. Like, nobody was saying that. It was just saying, we wouldn't mind hearing a verse from Andre 3000. Now, last point. All right, I've been holding on to this for 3 weeks now. My last point is this. Look, Andre 3000, of all people, the art of storytelling, Andre 3000, right? The you know what I'm saying? The Love Below writing, Andre 3000, told us, what am I supposed to rap about? And I'm like, but dude, nah, that wasn't a good enough excuse for me. It's his excuse, it's his truth, it's his piece. I ain't go. No one was threatening to hunt him down and put him in a headlock and beatbox in his ear. Nobody was threatening this. It's just people.
Except Enya.
People, except Enya. You better go back. I've been running these charts for years.
Sail away.
But wow, nice. But
A deep cut.
the only cut that I know, by the way.
Enya gang.
But nah, I thought that it got weird. It immediately got weird. And I'm like,
Of course it was going to get weird. As soon as I saw that this was happening, I was like, oh, this is going to get really silly.
but
And
did you
guess
think
what?
it was gonna get that weird where like people were roving gangs of flute players were gonna start jumping you. People immediately turned in their microphones for flutes, and now it's like, what are we doing right now? Like, why?
Oh.
Why am I in chains? All I said was I want to hear him rap. God dang, like.
Oh man, you know what? I had too many other things to worry about. I mean, I listened to a little bit of it. He's playing notes. I don't know how to feel about it. I'm you know why? Because I'm not terribly well versed in the world of all flute instrumental albums.
I wouldn't know whether it was good or not.
That's the thing. I wouldn't want to offer my opinion as though I'm some sort of expert, you know?
Sure. It's just whether you like it or not.
Yeah, you see? That's, I guess humility. Which, me pointing out my own humility is probably not the most humble thing in the world.
Definitely not the most humble thing that you've done on this
But,
show. But I will say this, real quick. I'm going to double down on it. I want to throw this out there at you because it's sort of a statement/question. All right, so here's the thing. Remember Judgment Night when Judgment Night dropped?
Yep.
And
Yeah,
records of that
absolutely.
ilk? They did a great thing because they sort of introduced, and Andre 3000 himself did this with The Love Below and some of the challenges that they took on the prior Outkast records, right? Introducing you to different genres to where you may not go deep into these genres, right? But you would touch on them, right? I thought that was the best thing, right? Would you agree that was the best thing about him doing a flute record? Was that people who normally wouldn't delve into this music maybe got some cursory understanding of different artists because they enjoyed hearing his version?
Maybe, all I saw was a bunch of memes about him beefing with Kenny G, though. I didn't see nobody talking about Hubert Laws or any of the other shit. Lizzo barely got any play. I mean,
Lizzo didn't get no run. They still mad at her for it.
So I don't know. Hopefully, yes. Hopefully the flute world is a flutter and there's nowhere to go but up. But I don't know. I mean, did Erica do this? I'm not sure. I don't know what happened. Do you know what I mean?
Immediately, I want to blame her. Immediately.
But the sad thing is that if you take a different example, like I said, I don't know a lot about the flute world. The flute world is not a world that I've immersed myself in. Mm-hmm. But the sad thing is that not knowing a whole hell of a lot about hip hop culture or rap music has not stopped a single person, a single so-called expert music critic, from wanting to offer their opinion on every new rap record that comes out. So, I was very comfortable in keeping my damn mouth shut. Other than, I listened to it.
I wouldn't know, but I will tell you this. This is where we're going to go in this direction because the whole little mini war and oh, he got you. You know what I'm saying? Oh, he got you. People liked it.
Were they saying that? I tuned out very quickly, so I missed all of that. That's awesome.
Here's my thing. There's a conversation that I had, a brief conversation with Silo about, and I mentioned this, like, you're getting the music that you asked for. Us. I'm not talking about the young folks. I'm talking about me and you and people of our generation, we're getting exactly the music and the music industry that we asked for better or for worse. You know what I'm saying?
Unless you bought a Lauryn Hill ticket.
Well, then you're just then you're just getting it late. But and when I said that, you know, people were, but I'm talking really more to insiders than outsiders.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Look, we wanted this antagonistic fan versus artist thing. I'm not shocked that people are throwing phones and water bottles at people on stage. It's not to a high volume, but I'm not shocked by it because I've read message boards before. I saw publicists push rappers that were whack ahead of rappers that were good, and the best thing about these artists was their publicists. The publicists were just doing their job, but they created image over quality. All of these things were things that happened during our tenure when we had rule over this. You know what I'm saying? So it's par for the course that a 48-year-old wouldn't want to rhyme no more. You know what I'm saying? Because he's existed in this nonsense for the longest. And it's also par for the course that people like me would start to tune out because I'm not going to argue with you over this.
Right.
Nobody wants to debate. So we all are just going to tuck our little 1990s records under our shoulder, and we just going to listen to those and not listen to nothing new because this is what you wanted. You wanted people to cycle themselves into their little zones and retreat from these types of conversations. This is sort of what I was saying about what's happening on Threads versus Twitter, People are social media fatigued, in my opinion. I don't have any data to back this, largely because who wants to sit around and fight and argue anymore? It was cool for a little while. Now it's to the point where it's just that's what you do. If I turn on this app, that's what I'm gonna do. If I want to have an opinion on this app, then if anyone pays attention to what I'm saying, I'm gonna end up having to argue with somebody. And it's sort of the same thing with music now to me. Fine, I want to hear Andre 3000 rap. You know, you're a bad rap person.
I can't believe that. That's awesome. It's almost like you said something bad about Nelly or something.
I mean, God. I'm a bad rap person. Like, I'm not one of those guys, people. If you're listening to this show and you think, I didn't stand in the back of the club when other people were rapping in unwashed cargo pants. I wasn't that guy. I washed my cargo pants. And I supported the art. You guys didn't wash your fatigues. I washed mine. So don't put me in your category. You wanted to have your arms folded in the back. I didn't. I had my hands in the air. I was supporting people growing into music. Now you ain't got, oh man, I don't know why ain't nobody checking for nothing new. Man, y'all spent 5 or 6 years on message boards and blogs dissing anything new that wasn't your homeboys. Now you mad that nobody's checking nothing new? It's like, man, shut up already. This is where we are now. And this is on y'all. So don't say nothing to me. I just want to hear the dude rap. You know what I'm saying? If y'all want to be Pied Pipered into the ocean, then y'all get with that. I don't. You know what I mean? Bottom line, I hope he's happy as a human being, but I want to hear a verse. Sorry.
He seems happy.
I'm glad he looks happy, man. I'm happy for him.
It doesn't seem like you could play the flute sad.
Well,
I'd imagine that you can. But
if you play a trumpet sad, you can probably play anyway. Sad, right? Yo, and that brings me to this. All right, I'm all on these rants. Kev, Micah 9 and Aloe Black were known for playing the trumpet while on stage.
Sure.
Did we get mad? Nobody was like, take that stupid trumpet down right now, or we'll burn this place to the ground. Like, nobody was tripping. It was that they were doing both. You were introduced to both. Madcap, introduced to both. All of these things were perfectly fine. Nobody told the Roots, if you don't take the instruments off the stage today, nobody was like that. Like, so why are y'all acting like people can't adapt to the idea of introducing instrumentation or different things? Like, people are okay with it. Again, I was in the 90s with y'all. You know what I'm saying? When y'all only wanted to hear one particular type of sound and type of style. And now you in people's ear, talking too close, talking about how everybody tripping for wanting to hear, you know. Well, I'm sorry, man, I'm done.
The thing that is eye-opening, and it's going to sound like a complaint because it's probably a complaint. I'm complaining. If no matter what you feel, how you feel about him doing this album as an all flute new age record,
sure.
If you are a good rap person that listens to all the new rap music, why is it that his record, I think, has outsold just about every other new rap record that's come out this year? Outsold, whatever that means, right? His metrics are
higher. Yeah.
Higher than
that's a better way of putting it. Yeah.
Right, which is, I say that to just say, why aren't if you're a rap person who wants to hear new rap all the time, or is the new age gang just that strong?
People don't want to hear new raps from new people. They want to hear new raps from older artists. That's why it was so shocking that he was saying.
But has this album done better than Nas's record, for example, which I'm not
sure. I'm not sure. I actually enjoyed that, but there's another one if you want me to rant. Y'all was mad at Nas's records. Nas's record. Just say you've outgrown the art. I feel like people should just admit that. You've outgrown it.
Yeah. It's
a lot of people have.
All you guys want to listen to is old records. It's like, yeah, I like a lot of the old records because, they represent not just a style of music that I really did enjoy, but it's a style of music that was being pioneered when I was at an age that I was very, very, very susceptible to every new thing that entered my ear canal. It's just a fact. It doesn't mean that I don't enjoy new artists. I don't listen to as many of them. There's a few of them I don't like. I think I explained this last week. Or last time we had an episode, whenever the hell that was. But
it's a month.
I want to listen to Illmatic every now and then, once every 6 months or whatever. Or, whatever. Inner city, griots. It's like I every so often, yes, I will want to go back and listen to that. It doesn't mean nothing. It's like all you people who only want to listen to new music, then why you have record collections? Why don't you just throw all that old shit away?
I mean,
what are you doing?
Or just stop lying.
Yeah. And don't disagree just to disagree. Look, this is the busiest travel time of the year. You can go to an international airport in any major market or small market in this country. You can sit down at a bar. You don't have to drink, but you can sit down next to somebody, or somebody might sit down next to you who's dressed completely different from you. It's a different age from you. You might size them up and realize that you have more, maybe you are more different than you are alike. But if you're not a complete psychopath, you can probably have a conversation with that person.
Sure, for the most part.
The problem is a lot of people on social media can't even do that. I'm not saying everyone can. But if you happen to be someone who can have a conversation with somebody who's completely different from you, comes from a different background, may have different political views, definitely different tastes in music and art and film and TV, why can't you do that on social media?
Sure.
Do you turn around to that person at the bar and just start barking at them because they're wearing a belt that you don't happen to like, or they got a cowboy hat on, or whatever the hell?
that's where we are as art consumers, right? It used to be simply, I don't know, man. I don't like that record.
Right.
Me and Suge had this conversation all the time. There are a ton of records that he loved that I did not like, and vice versa. Or I wasn't as high on them as he was. I might have been like, "Oh, this record's cool," and he'd be like, "Oh, this record's amazing," and I'm like, "All right, it is what it is," right? But that would be the end of it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now you got to go find a group. You got to form a coalition. You don't like a record? All right, that's step one. Now you got to go get a bunch of other people that don't like the record, and you got to, everybody does thumb exercises. They stretch out, and then they got to go find people that like the record, and then it's like, come on, man, like just you either like the record or you don't. And this is again back to my point that we started with a little bit with the threads versus Twitter and the social media fatigue. I'm speaking for me. I can't speak for everybody. I'm tired of having to or feeling like I got to debate my taste whenever I decide.
Hold on. First of all, you don't.
You don't have to. I'm saying the feeling of it. Like, look, let me say this because you're getting to another point that I wanted to make. So the threads and Twitter thing, again, threads is what Twitter used to be initially, like when it first started, right? But with this whole we know what we're doing now energy, right? Mm-hmm. The cool thing about social media when it happened was you were sitting around thinking a random thought and you could just throw it out there. Mm-hmm. And since nobody really knew how to respond yet or cared to, it was like, Smurf Village. Like everybody was all happy. Like, oh, what? You like that? You really only gravitated towards the things that you were interested in because there wasn't a lot of energy for everything else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like you could just randomly just post like, I just farted. And someone else, would comment, I just farted too.
Yeah.
LOL.
And that was the end of it, right? Now it's a long, it could end up being a long drawn out thing where I go back and it's like, you shouldn't have never had kids. Why would you want to listen to this? Aren't you? It's like, all right, man.
No, that's
you don't have to debate it. I'm just talking about the energy that goes along with it. You know what I'm saying?
Let me tell you, let me give one more example of why people should feel silly debating these things on social media.
Sure.
You are listening to right now, to me, and somebody who I consider a close friend. Part of that is that we are aligned to a pretty serious degree in terms of our musical taste. I would say, right? Am I
absolutely. 100%.
I just found out just a couple years, it feels like just recently, that you never liked Camp Lo.
Did not. Could not stand
do you know
still
do you remember when I think I found that out on this podcast.
Yeah, you found out on this.
But it's however long we've had this podcast, which is probably 20, 30 years we've had this podcast. Sometime during the life of this podcast, I found out you did not like Camp Lo. And you know how much time I spent arguing with you about it? Probably about 15 seconds.
Absolutely.
Because I thought you liked it, and I also assumed you should like it. And still.
Most people, yeah.
Still. I was like, I thought you liked that. You don't like it? Oh, okay. Did I ask you why? No. We just went on to whatever, talking about somebody farting.
You're right. Again, I think a lot of people feel like discourse is a factor in change. And I'm actually not a person that truly believes that. I actually don't feel like discourse really has changed very much. There's stories about the founding fathers and blah, blah, blah. But in the end, they was going to do what they was going to do. They was going to keep slaves and figure out how to draw these state lines, right? So this ideology that social media should be a place for discourse and we should all be accepting of it, I think it's just an excuse for you to say that unhappy, hurtful thing you've wanted to say for years to people, or since you saw a news story. But and the other thing is, Kev, can we be honest here? Social media has always been stupid. The concept of it has always been dumb. Just chilling and being like, oh man, I really love that. Right? Needing your need to tell a random group of people that you like Tribe. I mean, none of us need to do that. It's always been a stupid thing. It's just that we're human beings, and that makes us more social than not. Even if you say, I'm not a very social man, you still thumb it out just like the rest of us. So social media has always been a goofy ass concept. You know what I'm saying? What we've done is we've collectively sprinkled in message board culture into social media culture.
Well, and that's the other piece of this. Like, I talked about having the radio show, which, just like many other things that we do when we're younger, I would imagine, for me, I can speak for myself, I don't know that I appreciated it. I appreciated the time that I was able to do that, which is a long, significant portion of my life. I met a lot of great people, including you, and the entire crew. So many people, through doing that radio show. I also got to listen to a lot of great music, sometimes, many times before most people got to hear it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, let me stress the point that I don't know that I appreciated it as much as I probably should have. And that's just to say that the other part of it was, as DJs, we kind of get trained to resent requests. But when you're doing a radio show, that's part of the game, right? One, you want to know that people are listening and paying attention. And then, get a vibe for what people are listening to. So the really cool thing was when people would call, and sometimes I didn't have time to talk, but sometimes I'd be chopping it up with people who'd just be asking, like, what are you listening to?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cats would call from Chino, we'd have to collect calls. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Asking what's the hottest thing out right now, because that was the one record that they might be able to get that month, or whatever the case may be, one cassette, they might be able to get that month. So, that's a privilege,
Yeah.
And fortunately, because of what I decided to play, or what we decided to play, Ed and I and everyone else who helped with the show, people would come back every so often and listen, some of them religiously, and would trust us, even if because I'm as much a R&B dude as I am a hip hop dude back,
mm-hmm.
back when hip hop started, it was like, shit, man, I still want to hear some R&B or whatever, So I might play something that's a little soft, and I get clowned a little bit, whether in the streets or on the phone or whatever, but it is what it is, but people would have that level of trust. I don't have that level of trust for everybody. Mm-mm. And I don't think everyone should. But when you get on social media, now all of a sudden, one, you feel entitled to express your First Amendment rights every single day, in every way, every minute, no matter who it bothers. You don't care, whatever. Part of that is just being a jerk. The other thing is, you're not an expert. If you're not an expert, you could say whatever you want to say, but you just look like a dum-dum.
And there's also things that you really can't be an expert on. They're subjective. So your opinion is really simply just to state it. And I'm not against that, by the way. I'm all for you wanting to express yourself loudly or ignorantly or intelligently, whatever. It was like this Andre 3000 thing. I was like, man, these are some interesting opinions. I didn't know that people were so passionate about
flute.
Trying to
wind instruments.
Well, just about artistic expression. But there were some deep-seated resentments wedged into these opinions, right? Let me drop this on you real quick. So I did my first show in a long time. Shout out to my man Dre. My man Dre put on a one-man performance about MS. He has MS. It was to raise money for MS research, etc. Big shout out to my man Dre. Now, he asked me to come out. He uses Ready to Live as his closing song for all his plays. That's dope. He asked me to come out and rock a joint. So I came out to rock a joint. I love Dre. That's my guy. I didn't appeal to the audience at all. And I couldn't have been happier. Straight up. Now, I'm not trying to shade nobody. It is what it is. I'm just saying, throughout the years, what's happened to me as an artist, right, is there are people that'll diss my record, and I'll look at who they are or what they're into and be like, whew, thank you. I don't want to reach that. That's a group of people I don't, and I have the leverage to make that decision. I don't need to clamor or chase or, you know what I'm saying, or overact for a fan base anymore. So when I put out a record and a certain group of people doesn't like it, I say, all right, well, I'm not doing that just to protect myself from get my feelings hurt. I honestly do not care. What was dope about Andre 3000 is he honestly didn't care. And I think that was the
great.
Best part for me. For the rest of y'all to jump on his back and not care with him was what was goofy. Like, why are you in support of that part of the conversation? That's his personal thing. You being like, and he don't even care. Like, wait, what? What are you doing? You go over in that lot. Like, you were supposed to be over here with me. You either like what he's doing or you don't. I'm pretty sure that if I listen to this record, I'll enjoy it when I decide to listen to it. I got a long list of other things I got to listen to first. Flute Records not coming to the front of the line. Sorry.
You're not going to listen to Lupe rapping over it?
No, I'm not. I'm not even probably not going to listen to Lupe rapping over nothing but the Neptunes. But the thing is, people were not wrong for wanting a verse. I mean, it sounds like I'm going from this profound attempt at a profound conversation to a simple point. No one was wrong for wanting to hear a verse from one of the best rappers we've ever heard. No one. And the fact that y'all even edged on the idea that we were wrong for wanting to hear it was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. You guys got incredibly ridiculous. I'd imagine that people were ridiculous on the opposing side, or on my side as well. I'd imagine that people was like, "Oh, who this nigga think he is?" But we've heard that he's endured those opinions before. He said it in his verses. You know what I'm saying? Right? What's wrong with Andre? Is he on drugs? Is he gay? When he's going to wake up, when y'all going to break up, whatever. He said that. So we know that he's dealt with these opinions before, right? So, of course people are going to want to hear him rap.
Yeah, I mean, the real test is not for all you clowns that can go jump on your YouTube or Spotify or Tidal, whatever, and press play, on the album the day it comes out. It's like, God bless you, support the man. It's all good. When he goes to tour that Flute album, though, better see you packing out the Avalon or whatever it is, Palladium, to go check out that man play flute hella slow.
Right. And don't
be yelling, do Rosa Parks. Don't.
No. And don't do like you did at hip hop shows when you had your time. Don't go there in your unwashed fatigues and stand in the back with a beer that you could barely afford, being mad that somebody else is on stage that's not you. You need to go. I want you in the front row, hands up for the Flute record, as excited as a fan could be, because you wanted this. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be at my house. But yeah, I mean, it's a dead horse in it at this point. But man, it that I'm might be shoehorning, but that in combination with the whole like you see on threads, you see a lot of like anti-Twitter talk, and then people are coming in like there's too much anti-Twitter talk on here. Oh, okay, so then don't be on here. Like what do you what do you I don't know, but like just don't post on this totally voluntary phone application that you could close if you want to. I guess.
Yeah, go read a book.
Go do something else. I even go over to Twitter. Like, I don't know.
Go wash your
free
pants.
World, free country, free to state your opinion. But we all should step back a second and realize social media, whether you enjoy it or not, has always been dumb, even when you're doing it right. It's always been dumb. You know what I'm saying? Our parents, particularly our fathers, when they hear what we do on social media, be like, what? Why would you do that? Why would you even take the time to say that? Who cares? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah, when it's the Google thing, you know, where you have to log in or else you're going to lose all your stuff, right? When that came up, I realized that I set up an account for my daughter.
Oh, okay.
So it's like, let me make sure, you know, let me not, that would be stupid to screw that up. But it's not something that we use regularly at all. Then I realized I set up a Facebook and a Twitter account as well. I'm like, and I thought about that. I was like, I should just let this die because there's no way she's not going to want to check this out. She's not going to want to use this.
Right.
Nor do I want her to.
And even if she does, she doesn't need a legacy version. I know. She could just log in on her own. Oh, man. All right, man. Well, after telling people that they stupid for ranting, I realize I've ranted for roughly an hour. So let's go ahead and wrap this up. Oh man, yo, we also, man, I want to get this out before anybody. Y'all know that Rap Sucks Radio, in spite of all the hiatuses we've taken throughout the year, we do take a break at the end of the year and beginning of the next year. Like you know what I'm saying? So just get ready for it. We gonna do another show, maybe another 2, and then we gonna go on and enjoy our vacation.
I thought this was gonna be the last one of the year.
No. We got one more.
Okay.
And then we gonna let me see.
We're gonna talk about anything good.
Now. Probably 2 more. 2 more. The 18th will probably be our last one for the year.
Yes. What are some of the things we might be talking about?
I kind of want to get into this. I want to see if young Phony Stark goes in any further.
Oh man. Well,
I'm trying to see how much further. You know, with people being so angry at Marvel, Phony Stark might come in and.
Shout out to Omega, by the way. That was the first time I heard Phony Stark.
Big shout out to Omega. Yeah. Huge shout out to him. Always, man, for all days. That's my guy. He's on threads with me, man. Like occasionally we, you know, there's been 1 or 2 like, oh snap, what up? You here too? What up?
That's the thing. Threads is like a big room with not a lot of people, and every so often you might run into somebody. That's the sense I get. It's like, you know, if I want to get my steps in, great, but I'm gonna walk around here and see who else is hanging out. Like, I can find you.
It's conga room at 8:45.
It's like between sound check and doors. That's what Threads is.
Exactly. All right, y'all, man. Thank y'all for tuning in, man. I am your homeboy Trek Life, and that dude over there, that's your fam, Kev Sakota.
But seriously, get on Threads.
We're not on it, but Rap Sucks Radio isn't, but y'all jump on. Oh, thank y'all for tuning in, man. Social media, Instagram, Rap Sucks Radio, Facebook, RSR Podcast. I feel like Facebook still has the best engagement for me personally, by the way. But anyway, RSR Podcast. We out of here like last year on the count of three. We say peace. 1, 2, 3. Peace.
Peace.
We out, y'all.
See ya.